Hey there, it's Perry with PapercraftingThreads. Today I have a super fun Peekaboo card using elements of the Nest of Christmas October 2024 Paper Pumpkin Kit. Let's get started. I'm starting with this card base from the kit. I'm trimming off the frame portion and saving the rest for other projects. And on the frame, I'm trimming off 1/8 of an inch on 2 of the perpendicular sides. And with this card base from the kit, I want to use the middle panel. And again, save the pieces cut off for other projects. And I want to cut this down to 4 5/8 by 3 3/4. And again, save these bits. I've already cut a piece of Coastal Cabana measuring 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 and scored down the middle at 4 1/4. I've also pre-cut this piece, which is a scrap of basic white, and it measures 1 3/4 inches by 1 1/2. And then I measured in 1/4 inch and drew lines in pencil. This is my mechanism. I also have a platform. This measures 1 1/2 inches by 2 inches. And then I have 2 more pieces measuring 7/8 by 2 inches. And on this piece, with a pair of sharp scissors, I'm going to cut in on these short sides to the intersection of the lines and then cut out this side section. I'm going to rotate it and do the same thing on the other side. And then the next thing I'm going to use is this bag from the kit. I'm not going to use this tape, but I need the bag. And I want to measure a strip of the bag that is no wider than this inner portion here, 1 inch from line to line. And so I want it to be just under 1 inch. You can even use the trimmer for this. So I'm putting this bag on here at just under 1 inch. So I'm using this mark on this side. And I'm lining it up at the top just like as if it's paper. And then I'll just use the scissors to finish cutting that. I'm going to cut off this end. And then I'm going to cut off the seam. I only need 1 of these. So now I have a strip here that I don't know how long it is, but long enough, and about 7/8 of an inch wide. I have some very narrow double-sided tape. This is actually score tape. You can use any brand you'd like. And we're going to put a little piece of this on the end, making sure not to go over the edge, which I did. I'm gonna just make sure that's adhered on there, and I'm just gonna fold that back once I take off the liner. This is going to go on this piece like this with the tape up. Remove the liner, push any excess back over so you don't want it sticking. So now take this and wrap it around, and you don't want it to be super tight. It's kind of like a belly band where you want a little bit of wiggle room. and press that down because you want it to move easily. So I'm going to keep that tape over there and cut off this excess. Then where I put that adhesive that's sealed up inside there, I'm going to put another piece over the top. And again, I don't want it to hang off the edge at all. I want it to be inside because I don't want to stick that down. Burnish it first. Remove the backing. And then take this piece and adhere it. So it should be within your pencil line. And then I'm going to flip it over, and then we're going to put this piece on this side. Burnish. Remove the liner. And then this little piece is going this way. And don't worry if they're a little bit crooked, it'll still work. And when you flip it, it moves. And set that aside. I'm stamping the sentiment Happy Holidays from the kit with shaded spruce ink. Punch out the birds and the greenery from one sheet. And this one I'm going to separate into 3 pieces. I'm using a light Real Red Stampin' Blend with a flicking motion to add a little more detail to the cardinal and make him stand out more. And then I'm back to this piece. I have some leftover adhesive strips from a previous paper pumpkin kit. If you don't have that, you could cut off pieces of the foam adhesive sheets, or you could use the foam adhesive strips. Any type of double-sided foam adhesive could be used. So I'm going to put this along here. Cut this in half. Doesn't have to run the whole length, just the majority of it. And remove the liner. And then I'm using my platform. I'm going to center it over the top of that bottom piece. And these still work. This bird and branch are going over here. I'm going to cover most of the platform with this big piece of greenery. And I'm placing the glue dots on the platform rather than on the piece of greenery so that I don't have adhesive hanging off. And the cardinal is being popped up here to cover this little corner peeking out. I'm using a dimensional on the back of his neck and a glue dot at the base of his tail. Tuck in more greenery and the other bird on the other side. So here's my card base, the frame, the patterned paper, I flipped my mechanism over and I'm adding foam strips to the top and bottom again, just like I did before I added the platform. Remove the liners and adhere to the front of the card. Add dimensionals to the back of the sentiment and adhere to the card front. I have a little bit of the strip showing that I don't like, so I'm going to tuck in another piece of greenery, being careful not to get caught in the mechanism. To give some direction to the recipient of the card of what they're supposed to do, I have a scrap of basic white and a shaded spruce Stampin' Write marker, and I'm going to make some arrows. I want to trim this down close to the arrow because I want it there to be an arrow, but I don't want it to take away from the design of the card. And there you have it, a peekaboo card. Find written instructions over on my blog at... If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share, and thanks for watching. Bye!